Alternatively, it could just be that he is a tiny, tiny baby and is scared and doesn't like to talk to people who disagree with him. That's another possibility.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I have been trying to get in touch with Phil Williams and Bryan Dawson. Phil Williams is an afternoon host, a weekday afternoon host on WVNN, a conservative radio station, and he has a recurring segment that is made specifically to piss me off, I think. Called Union Dues or Union Blues. Oh. Where, I mean, it's just, oh, wow, it's fascinating.
I wonder how much Koch brother money it took to come up with that.
Right, yeah. Probably
nugget.
Thousands of dollars. And so he's said multiple things that are either, like, really stupid, just flat out wrong, or lacking context, just really, really dumb, really dumb things. And so I've tried to get him on the radio. I've emailed him a couple times over the last couple weeks. I've tagged him on Twitter, and he hasn't responded to me. And I don't know if he thinks like that we're not big enough or something, which would be really funny, because he was bragging about how many people listen to him online, and we're not like a particularly large. We don't have like a particularly large online audience, but we have literally a conservative estimate is 5 times more people listen to us online than his show, which is hilarious because, like you said, Adam, his show is backed by basically unlimited Koch brother money from the Alabama polity.
Allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly. I looked it up. The Koch brothers are a confirmed donor to the Alabama Policy Institute. Like that is
oh, sure.
out there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Alabama Policy Institute.
And Right Side Radio is owned by the Alabama Policy Institute, I believe.
Isn't that something?
I believe. I'm pretty sure that's right. I think it's right, but whatever. He's anyway. So
I was going to say, listeners may not be surprised to hear that there are no billionaires and oligarchs who are willing to give us money.
Yeah.
Not that we want it, but we haven't heard from them.
Yeah. So that would be really funny if that's the reason that he's not replying to us, because, like I said, we don't have a huge audience, but conservative estimate is 5 times more people listen to us online than him, based on the numbers that he was bragging about last week. Alternatively, it could just be that he is a tiny, tiny baby and is scared and doesn't like to talk to people who disagree with him. That's another possibility. So anyway, we wanted to get him on the show, talk to him about that. His email is phil@rightsideradio.org or info@rightsideradio.org. If you would be interested in our conversation, you should let him know or call into his show 2 to 5 weekdays on WVNN and let him know that you're interested in that conversation. And also Bryan Dawson, who is the president and CEO of 1819 News, which is another entity that's owned by the Alabama Policy Institute. And I checked that. It is owned by the Alabama Policy Institute, 1819 News. And they, advertise themselves as like, oh, we're a real news. We take out the fluff and whatever, and we just bring you the straight dope, and our editorials are separate from our news and all this stuff. And that was fascinating to me, because in their interview with the pro-military coup flat earth gubernatorial candidate Dean Odle, they did not mention those things. They just talked to him like he was a normal guy. Like they spent an hour talking to this lunatic Like he was a normal person. I mean, props to Dale Jackson, at least, for when he talked to Dean Odle, he just treated him like a loon and laughed him off the air, which is like, you know, I don't often say props to Dale Jackson, but props to Dale Jackson because, like, I mean, seriously, this guy, Bryan Dawson spent an hour on his podcast as the president and CEO of 1819 News talking to a flat earther, and a guy who says on his website where he's running for governor that we need a military coup.
Wow.
And they didn't mention it. They did not mention it. But this is a totally serious news organization that is just giving you the straight dope and is like just super normal and has really, really rigorous journalistic integrity.
Clearly.
Super normal. So if you're interested in hearing a conversation between me and Bryan Dawson, then you should let them know too. You can, let's see, let me pull up their email. It is, I emailed him too. I only emailed him a couple days ago though, so we can give maybe a little bit more, a little bit more.
He could be in his bunker preparing for the military coup. Led by the crazy person he interviewed.
Jesus, dude, it's crazy. Bryan.Dawson at 1819news.com. Bryan, Bryan Dawson, Dawson at 1819news.com. Because I'm interested in seeing how he justifies not asking the pro-military coup flat earth gubernatorial candidate about his pro-military coup flat earth views. That would be an interesting thing to know. So I have a lot prepared, a long segment prepared on the Associated Builders and Contractors, which is a non-union construction council of bosses that has endorsed Katie Britt for U.S. Senate. Unfortunately, we are running out of time on the radio, so you're gonna have to follow us online if you want to see that. I've got some really good information, really good segment on the Associated Builders and Contractors because it is a seriously vile group, and Katie Britt is proud to have their endorsement. And basically though, their whole shtick is we want to cut wages for construction workers. That's like the whole thing. That's the whole thing. That's it. There's nothing else. Well, we want to cut wages and decrease safety standards.
Right. Cut regulations at the same time.
That's their whole shtick.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong? You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.